Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Michael, aka Victor Bain, and I am an angel slash artist slash matrix engineer. And I am going to be the first person to pull the Jesus alarm. And what that means is I'm claiming to be Jesus. So let's see the whole mechanism that goes about when Jesus does return, as they say these are the last days of the last days. Let's see what happens, shall we? Now, I've calculated the odds, and I do have a pretty good chance of not being the Jesus of this particular or that particular denomination, but the actual person that this story was based on, that real person. That real person was just like other real people that were in contact with their higher self, their consciousness, their spirit, whatever you want to call it. So this is what's going on. And the 100-degree challenge is my public peer review of me saying that you are a spiritual being having a human experience. So I codify that in steps that will help you to begin questioning, to come to a point of knowing. That's called a 100-degree challenge. There's a reality show called The Trueman Show in which I'm showing you, this is all done public. I'm not hiding any of this, right? Obvious, right? So this is me traveling and talking to people about this good news. This is the good news that you're a spiritual being having a human experience. We've been spellbound by all of these different belief systems which box us in from being able to come in contact with our true self. That's all Jesus did, just like everybody else inside this matrix. And I say matrix engineer because this is a matrix. It's talked about in the scripture and is also talked about in the scientific realm. And spirituality combines both because there's truth in all of it. Just like there's truth in some of the religions, you don't throw them out. Like when Jesus talks about the kingdom of heaven being within, there's some truth to that. And you have to say, well, is there truth to some other things that are said in there as well? But we're not going to get into any biblical discussions. But yeah, that's funny, right? Jesus is not really going to get into any biblical discussions because just like Jesus back in that day when he was being oppressed and his people were being oppressed and all this good stuff that was going on with religion controlling a lot of things, why would you think coming back you would all of a sudden be a fan of organized religion? And also to realize that your teachings, which had nothing to do with religion, were hijacked, if you will, and used as religions to keep people in mental bondage. But we're breaking that as well. And there's going to be some people that don't believe, and that's fine. Same thing like when in the story, you know. And the whole concept is simple as far as you being a spiritual being. You being connected to God, just like Jesus is. Jesus was divine and a human, just like you are, a human being. The thing is, your being aspect is multidimensional and much bigger than the small physical aspect. You just see one little drop, but you're actually the ocean in the drop, you know. But you can think, since you're separated from the ocean, that you're something else. But you're part of all that is, and you can call it whatever you want to call it. So all that's the good news. So this is me telling you what Jesus would tell you. Now, being here and knowing all of this opposition, knowing that there's a lot of indifference, there's going to be a lot of suppression to this information. I've planted seeds for years, as Jesus would do. Like I'm showing you an example of what Jesus would do. I'm not just saying I'm this person and throw all these whatever. This is about being an angel on the ground. You know, Jesus was an angel, so are you. God only makes angels. So think about that. You have a choice whether you're a good angel or a bad angel. You know, whether you're good or whether you're like God or whether you're evil and like the devil. You know, it's your choice. You know, in a world of duality, right? So, you know, you got your yin and your yang. But the thing is, you have a choice, and these people are nobody special. But being spellbound allows them to control your limit of accessing this yourself by thinking that it can only be accessed through someone special. So now I'm pulling the alarm, saying that I'm Jesus, saying that Jesus was nobody special, and I'm not even going to really be using this terminology anymore. That's why Victor Bain was created. And it's not my own name because my name is plain as well. And you can look the name of what that means. I chose Victor Bain as victory over noise. There's a lot of noise even surrounding this. That's why in the 100-degree challenge, we don't get into any specific religions. But again, I pick on Jesus because it's what I was indoctrinated and brought up with. And there's a reason. It's part of my story, you know. This is what this character would do coming back inside of this matrix. And there's plenty that I want to talk about. It's all about waking up. And these are the things that I've done similar to Jesus, public ministry, Mother named Mary, I didn't control that. But 27 is a big thing. A lot of coincidences happen to be 27 books in the New Testament. Having an awakening in the cloud, that's another story. But it's about action. It's not about this person at all. It's about activating the Christ within you. Because Jesus' last name was not Christ. It was all about Christ consciousness. The other people have done that as well. So this is not specific to any religion, just like Jesus wasn't going to any church. So all these churches talk about it's all about Jesus. We're going to see. Jesus is here. So let's have a discussion. Let's do this all in the open. Why not? If it's about truth, why would God fear anything about questioning? And you'll see how they'll replay the stories that go on in this text. But if you're seeing this, there's a whole lot of probabilities that open up. So you're going to see Victor Bain act. Michael Victor Bain as an angel, just a spiritual being down here, an angel on earth, doing this kind of work. I'm on a mission to pull that alarm, and it's been pulled. So now that's going to split the trajectories that are already going, and people can choose to stay with like-minded people if they want to. Those that want to take a faster train can go, and eventually these bonds will be severed and they'll be on their own trajectory. But that's what's going on. There's plenty more that I've said in the years. I just try to keep these short, so appreciate it.